Hey everybody, welcome to RCAM. I'm your host Ryan, and it's been a while since I made a video, so I'm glad to be back. I've had a lot going on, but it's good. It's good to be back. So today I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about my experience on the missions field. So for those of you who don't know, I recently went on a missions trip to Bolivia, and I got to go with a group called Project Doxa. And while we were on that trip, I had an opportunity to really connect with some really phenomenal people. I connected with a church called Genesis Church, who are doing incredible things in Bolivia, which was really encouraging for me to be around. And I also got to connect with a couple different foundations they're partnered with and they're supporting. One of the foundations was called Foundation Emmanuel. So when my team and I went to go visit this first foundation, it was a really beautiful experience. When we arrived, we were greeted by dozens of smiling kids, and when we got off the bus, every single one of those kids came up and were hugging us and loving on us, and it was just really beautiful. I'm not used to getting those types of interactions when I walk in a room full of kids in America. That doesn't happen, but in Bolivia, that's how they greeted us, and I just thought it was really beautiful. All these kids were really happy, and we got an opportunity to tour the facility. Now, what I found incredible was the story of the woman who actually runs the foundation. Her name is Goretti, and she she actually left Germany to come to Bolivia to care for these children who came from some pretty challenging situations. So she left her life in Germany and came to take care of these kids. She saw the need, and she just could. It just didn't sit well with her, and she came back, and she started this orphanage. And this program where she takes care of these kids, where she helps them with education, and she feeds them, and she just loves on these kids. And I just thought it was really beautiful, how this person could just pick up everything and meet the needs of these kids. And she took us on a tour through her facility, and she brought us up to the roof, and we were overlooking the city, which was a pretty spectacular sight. But she pointed something out to me that I was not aware of. So I'm going to really quick just show you guys a picture of what I saw so you could see it. And I want you to tell me if you notice anything out of the ordinary in the picture. So here it is. All right. So now I'm gonna show you another picture, and you're gonna notice now that in the picture I just showed you, there are at least three out of 40 brothels that are surrounding her area, that are in this picture alone. So here's the next one. So as I stood on that roof, I looked around and I saw all these brothels, and my heart was just broken, because I'm like, man, like there are all these brothels and all these women who are in this dire situation, and it just broke my heart. And I asked Goretti, how many of the women are forced into prostitution. She said about 70%. And then she said the other 30%, maybe it starts out as something they choose to do, but then they're stuck in it, and then it no longer becomes a choice, because then they can't leave. And that really broke my heart. And I, for a moment, was looking over the city pretty discouraged, but then I realized something. I realized, hey, I'm standing on the roof of the woman who's making a difference in the lives of these kids. I'm standing on the roof of the person who's being a light in the midst of this darkness, and spreading God's love with the kids. And many of these kids that come into her facility are kids, are children of the mothers or who work in these brothels. So they come and they stay with her during the day or sometimes all night. And she went on to share with me that she even started to help some of these kids find homes, these women relocate into other cities, and she helped rescue them essentially from the brothels, which I found really really encouraging. She also shared with me how some of the women are starting to come to Christ. So I'm seeing God move in just a really really rich way, and that to me was just exciting and encouraging to see this woman just give it all for the sake of Christ. And overall, I would say my experience on the missions field was really really rich. We did quite a bit of ministry. I also had an opportunity during one of the mornings to climb a mountain called Tunari, which was very very difficult, far more difficult than I thought it would be. And but it was really incredible. We were, I think, at 16,100 feet elevation when we got to the top, and it was just really tough. And the elevation, guy, when you're that high in elevation, it's difficult to breathe. So I mean, every a few feet, we're stopping to catch our breaths. And when we started, so I think our guide may have made a wrong turn, and he led us like directly up the mountain, which was challenging and which was scary because it was pretty steep, and we couldn't get our footing, so like we're having to like crawl up the mountain. And as we get toward the top, I'm thinking like, how are we getting down? How are we getting down from this mountain? And me, I'm not somebody that's typically scared of things, but I was legitimately scared. I was, getting to the top of that mountain. One, there was not a lot of space on the top, and two, like I'm realizing like, like if I step wrong, I could die. I could fall off this mountain, and everything's over for me. And then I'm thinking like, I have no clue how we are getting down. So it was cool on top. I got a picture of me on top. I'll show that real quick. So I'm smiling in that photo, but I'm really horrified because I'm thinking, how am I getting down? How am I gonna get down from this? How are we getting down? There's no way we're getting down the same way we came up. Thankfully, our guide took us another way, and we were able to get down. And I started thinking like, like why didn't we go up that way? It was so much easier. But all in all, it was a really good experience. For those of you who have maybe been thinking about missions, I really encourage you guys to get on the missions field. I think it does something to, well, I know it does. It changes your perspective. And it allows us to take our American glasses off and start to see the world in a whole new way. And that's what it did for me the first time I won the missions field, and that's what it did again for me when I went this time around. Um, but overall, it was a really really rich experience. I do hope to go back in December. So that's kind of, and I want to take a team with me. So that'll be exciting. But to everybody that contributed to our missions trip, I appreciate it. With your finances, one, this was not seen during the trip, but we were able to help get those kids gifts for Christmas. That was actually the original plan, was for me to go during Christmas time, but they were going through some political instability there, so we were not able to go. But we still fundraised money for them to get Christmas gifts, and while we were there, we were able to get them back to school supplies, which was really really awesome. So we got back to school supplies for about 100 kids, which was really really awesome, and just really exciting to see some of them get their bags. And there's a, I'm gonna show you because I just love this picture. So I'm gonna put it up real quick. So if you notice in the corner, there's this little girl hugging her bag, and I just thought like, That's so cute. But yeah, it was your finances definitely went to a good place, and I appreciate what you guys are doing. And not only that, you know what was kind of cool about this? I've always wanted to be directly involved to some degree with helping fight against human trafficking, and being a part of this mission and going to these orphanages and seeing what Goretti is doing was exciting, because she's directly fighting and being fighting against the traffickers, and rescuing women from brothels, and caring for their children. I just thought, yes, finally, I'm able to help out in some way. I'm not nowhere near the level Goretti's doing, but it was still encouraging. So I ask that you keep Goretti and our friends Jonathan and Kara, who are running Genesis Church, in your prayer, and pray that God continues to move in Bolivia, because he's doing some incredible things. I plan to release more content. I have some episodes planned already, so stay tuned, because there's more coming. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. If you like the content that you're seeing, go ahead and like and subscribe to this page. It really helps me out. Or share this video. Have yourself a blessed day. Deuces.